Alright, what is the full pack today? We're going to be talking about episode 3 of The Last of Us Season 2. Oh boy, was this episode something. So, the episode starts off with Tommy in the morgue area. And he obviously is going to go see Joel. Which I didn't get at first because I think he said, because at first I didn't understand what he said, because I thought he said baby at one point. I was like, Maria died? No. He said, say hi to Sarah for me, which, fuck, that was heartbreaking, dude. So that was one final send-off for Tommy. And yeah, so then the entire episode kicks off. Ellie's in the hospital. She wakes up, and then we get flashbacks to the day Joel died. And she gets up freaking out and everything, because obviously she's in immense pain. Then it fast forwards to now, where she's in the hospital telling everybody that she's fine, and then she's able to leave for the rest of. She's able to leave. So then she goes to Joel's house. We get the whole entire scene with where she is looking through his stuff and cries into the jacket. Dina obviously calls out. If you've played the games, you might fast forward through explaining stuff that's already happened. But if you haven't, then first off, go watch the show and play the game. Do both, because they're both masterpieces. So we get the scene where she's in Joel's house, crying to his jacket and everything. I thought it was very sweet. She isn't wearing his jacket, which I was kind of hoping that they would, but also it's fine, I guess. But yeah, then they go down and Ellie and Dina are talking. Dina gave cookies to have a peace offering as an apology. And Dina apparently was withholding information from Ellie, and then Ellie gets pissed, you set us back. But then Dina actually was pretty smart this time. In my opinion, I think that this Dina is a little bit smarter than the Dina in the games. No offense! Because I actually follow the actress who plays original Dina on YouTube, so no offense. But Dina told Ellie that, well, actually what she did was smart, because how else will we know where their base is? How do we know where their base is without them going there and giving us tracks? So then what was the next scene after that one? I always blank on a specific part. But okay. So then I think they go to meet Tommy. And then Tommy is listen, we're gonna have to let the council decide. I don't know if we should let you go. Everything like that. And I think that they played this off pretty beautifully, because I think fans forget that Tommy was there for Joel's entire life. So it's Tommy out of everyone would know Joel very well, because they did the whole entire scene where Ellie says, like, if it were you or me, he'd be halfway to Seattle by now. And then Tommy said, if it were me, Joel would have saved me. But we can't do that to dead people, can we? And then he like walks away, saying like, don't tell me how, or don't talk to me like I don't know my own brother. So yeah, I think that they handled that beautifully, because it's not fair to tell Tommy how Joel would react, but I digress. He gives Ellie a hug. It was very sweet. Then at nighttime, Jesse is training Ellie for boxing, because she was just laying down depressed for a bunch of 3 months, and she lost most of her strength. So then Jesse was like talking to Ellie about the whole council thing. He leaves without telling her how he would vote. Ellie's pretty pissed off at that. Then next day is the council meeting. Everybody gives their opinions. One lady doesn't like the idea of going. Because we'll be taking our best and leaving Jackson defenseless. Another guy spews some Christian bullshit. He's not really Christian. He's not even Christian. So, but still, he was spewing like, forgive and forget. Like, hell no. I'm sorry, but like, no. I'm sorry, but no. Sorry, y'all. Caught something in my throat. Anyway. So yeah, and then surprisingly, Seth backs up Ellie, which, first off, they're giving Seth so much time to, what's the word? Redeem himself. So he's like saying, screw all this mercy BS. Who's to say that they're not going to come back, and when they do come back, they'll be laughing at us? Which I'm gonna leave that up to interpretation. But so then Ellie gives her big old speech, and she's spewing some bullshit. She doesn't care about getting justice. She tries to tell everybody that it's not about revenge or anything like that. It was, and Gail picked up that was bullshit. Let's be honest, it was bullshit. So then they do the entire vote thing, and majority votes no. Which, the council, first off, F the council. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it, F the council, because what the hell, dude. I get it, but I also don't. But, yeah. So then Ellie's like preparing to leave, and Dina comes knocking. Ellie thinks that Dina is going to try to talk her out of it, and Dina's like, I'm not here to do that. I want revenge just as much as these guys, but you don't have directions, and I'm not gonna let you just die, so I'm going with you. And Dina gives a whole list, and I think they made fun of the games a little bit, not in a bad way, but it's like a logical standpoint. In that in the games you don't start out with medical supplies. So yeah, you don't start out with medical supplies, and and Dina's like, what, you're gonna go in there with no medical supplies, no ammo, no weapons, which is literally the game to a T. Because when you're in the game, you do have to find the stuff yourself. Logically, that's stupid, because you'd think that you'd want to prepare for something this big, but in the game, obviously, you're not prepared, because you get retries, so it's like the stuff you find, that's what you deal with. But these are real people, and we can't control, and there's no do-overs. So they're bringing medical supplies, and I just think that was a fun little poke fun at the gamers, not in a bad way. So then they're getting everything ready, and then again, Seth is the one that Dina was talking to about getting help to get out of the gate in the first place. Again, W Seth. I'm gonna say this. I like this better than the games. I like that they're giving Seth a redemption arc, because in the video game, you can't have your cutscenes too long, because then obviously, fans will complain, so they can't really give, with the time crunch of the cutscenes, you can't really give Seth a redemption arc. In the games, the apology was the redemption arc, but you could argue that he was saying that because he had to, but in the show, they outright show that he actually does feel bad for what he said. So that's another point for the show, because I think the show can focus more on the character development than the games, because the games have a time crunch. The Last of Us, which with their focusing on character development, obviously, that took 24 hours. The game is 24 hours, and that's insane. And they can't have a 24-hour episode, so they have to focus on... Or what am I talking about? Anyway, I just think that the show's big point, the show's strong suit is the characters, because the characters are well acted. They get more range, they get more time to process, because another thing is that it took them 3 months to actually start going to Seattle. And the show gave Ellie time to process. In the game, it's like, oh, we're going next day. Next day we go to avenge Joel, which I like. I like that they are actually, in the show, they're actually giving characters time. So then Dina and Ellie are going to Seattle. They stop for a moment. I'm upset, dude. I'm honestly so upset, but again, I think this is also another strong suit. They aren't honing in on the idea of Ellie and Dina yet. Obviously, there's like little hints to the fact that they are going to be an item, but it's not confirmed yet, which I think is honestly a strong suit, because I always liked Ellie and Dina, but I never understood how fast, because how they treated Dina in the show, or in the game, how they treated Dina in the show, or fuck, in the game, is, oh yeah, hey, that's Dina. You know Dina, right? Dina, Ellie's longtime friend. No, we don't know her. Um, and I like that they're like kind of slowly going into the relationship rather than like crashing straight into the relationship, because a kiss could mean anything when you're single, right? So like Dina and Ellie being single, that kiss could have just been in the moment. But us gamers know that it's so much more than just a random kiss, but the viewers don't know that. So, obviously there's that. So there's a tent scene that's supposed to kind of reminisce the weed seller scene, and they don't do anything. Dina asks the question, hey, how would you rate the kiss? And Ellie said 6, and then Dina got offended, and she was like, I'm not that bad. And then Dina confirms that there's a little bit more to her and Ellie than just like a random kiss, because Dina says, I wasn't that high. Girl, and a lot of gamers will probably be upset that they're not doing the making out scene, but as a day one player of The Last of Us 2, I think that they're doing it perfectly. I think that the slow burn is excellent. I think the slow burn to the relationship is perfect. Though I do wish that they would just get it over with. But I do like the slow burn. So then they're walking, they see a seraphite on the ground, or a scar on the ground. And as Ellie's investigating the body, Dina runs over and pukes. Which, I'm gonna say it, and I don't know how I feel about this, but I don't know, man. The puking could be, this is a spoiler, by the way. So if you really do not like spoilers to a potential storyline that they're going to do in the show, because this was in the game, by the way, but they've changed so much from the game that they could completely retcon this. So do not quote me for the show. So spoilers right now, this is a plot point. So the puking could be the pregnancy. If the gamers will know what I mean by the pregnancy. In the game, Dina is pregnant. They could change that for the show, though. She could have actually just been appalled by the sight. But I think that she is having puking pregnancy, which is a lot earlier than in the games. So they're like slowly giving hints, which I like that they're doing that early on. But I could be wrong. It could just be that she was appalled, because we see that the Seraphites are massacred. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, because this was such a small scene, but somewhere in between all of the Jackson meetings and stuff, we got a scene of the Seraphites, training the daughter and everything, but then they get massacred by WLF. So, yeah, that's what we're seeing here. But then they continue on, they get to the iconic highway, the overgrown highway, and they made a Curtis and Viper reference. Hilarious. Then Dina and Ellie are like walking more, And then we get a large shot of Seattle. And Ellie says it's beautiful. It is. Then we get a weird scene, which I was expecting them to reveal that Tommy is going after the WLF, which, again, they could retcon. They've retconned a lot lately, so they could very much retcon this, but I was expecting them to reveal that Tommy is going there because in the games, Tommy kills Manny. And Manny was looking over the city, you know, reporting on certain stuff. And they were doing a really long shot of a close-up of Manny, even after he stopped talking. So I was expecting Tommy to come up behind him and, like, hold a gun to his head and maybe, like, kill them or something like that. I don't know. But no, then we get an extended shot of the WLF, their little army, walking down a street. Scary, but I'm scared that they're gonna do another attack on Jackson. The WLF are going after Jackson. That's how I interpreted the scene. Because we never, in the games, we never get shots like that. We never get scenes like that where there's a bunch of a WLF walking in one place. Usually, they're in small groups all across Seattle. So yeah. I don't know where they're gonna go with this, but yeah. So, rating of this episode, I give it I honestly give it an 8. An 8.5. And the reason is mainly just because, like, I don't know, man. I can't give it a 10 like last episode because nothing substantial really happened. It probably would have been a 9 if they did the scene with Ellie and Dina. But again, that's a highlight that they're not doing it immediately, but still. Yeah, bro. This show's just good. Anybody who complains about this show are just living in the past, bro, because I love this show. As somebody who played The Last of Us Part 2 the day of release, I love this show. This show's amazing. I also like that they're not doing too much with Abby. Like, I was scared that they were going to do back and forth with Abby because they have a shorter time. They have only 8 episodes to deal with, so, like, they can't just make us drag along the story. So, I thought how they were going to do it was that some scenes with Ellie, some scenes with Abby, but I'm really worried that they're going to be doing a Ellie episode, Abby episode, Ellie episode, Abby episode, and then we go back and forth until the finale. I'm scared for that. I really am. Because people will probably just complain the entire time. They already are. But yeah. Anyway, that's the end of this episode. Sorry that this was a longer one, but there was a lot to talk about this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications, and yeah, I'll see you guys later.